joke, I've been a money maker. I've been a record breaker, taking credit as an educator. I've been known to spit the flows and make it shaky, shaky thing. Popping, locking, stopping, let it hang. Watch us as we drop this hip hop, it's like it stings. We make a whole room drop and everybody sing. We want the funk. We gotta have that funk. We kick it old school, we think we're so cool. We take it back to the past, we gonna act a fool. Up jumps the middle finger, make my Jaeger jump.
Hello, hello, hello. Welcome to Sports Buzz, a Fanatical View. I am your host, Scott D. Lewis, here live in studio, Comcast Cable Channel 23, downtown Danbury, Connecticut, on this somewhat hot and humid July 21st. We had a little break from the heat wave. The last couple of days were pretty nice, actually, but the heat wave is returning. It might be coming back with a vengeance as well. So we'll see how that goes. But we are here 6:30 to 7 to give all you people out there maybe a little 30-minute distraction away from that convention thing that's going on, the all week-long television show, the Republican National Convention thing going on that everybody's been tuned into this week. You know, when did it just become all about entertainment value and not actual political platforms and, you know, real deep, meaningful things, serious stuff that's going on with this country? Yet everybody just wants to have a good time, see what's going on out there, get their ratings. The media just does their thing. They write the articles, they get all the clicks. Everybody on social media just sharing photos with stupid captions underneath them to explain away the whole thing, and it's all one big laugh. Hello, people. The country's in just a horrible state of affairs. Maybe you're part of the problem if you just keep tuning in and laughing it up and just going for the entertainment value and giving all these media people the ratings that they've just been going for. This thing's been going on for a year now, and it's been one long TV show. This is a presidential, election that's happening, and it's all about TV and ratings and good times and who can laugh and who can insult people more and who can just do what they want. I mean, it's a serious thing. I just don't get it. I don't understand why people are wasting all their time with all this nonsense and not getting down to serious stuff and talking it out with real, insight and actual legitimate, educated conversations about it. It's really a sad state of affairs, but, we're not a political show. So that is my rant. If you want more politics, you can tune into my director's show, Mike Toohey, Expose Cinema, on Friday nights, 9 o'clock, and Wednesday afternoons at 1. My usual right-hand man, Mr. Bob Broad Jr., I think he will be calling into that hotline, 203-792-4101. From Rogers Park, he is not here again. He's down at the field. A big game going on with the Westerners tonight as they are battling for their playoff lives. We'll take a break and see if he calls in quickly, and we'll talk Westerners when he gets on the phone. But they are in a tight playoff race. They are on the outside looking in right now, so they need a big win against the team right in front of them tonight. So we'll see how that goes for that game, and we'll talk to Bob hopefully soon if he calls in. Anybody else want to call in? 203-792-4101. Strange Man is here. I should also mention that Bob's show Spotlight On, I think I said that Tuesday nights at 9, Wednesdays at 12, and Danbury Westerners Roundup has made its debut finally as we get towards the end of the season. They had their first episode, was on just before our show, Thursday nights at 6. They were covering the Celebrity Breakfast. Next week, you will see second part of that with George Foster's speech and his talking. Strange Man is here. I tried desperately to get him into the hot seat, Bob's seat, but he was not having it. Still, I will do him the honor, however, of reading about his Aunt Annie, who passed away. So our condolences to Strange Man and his family. At the age of 77, Annie Frances Wilson Gelati, predeceased 13 years by her husband Dave Gelati, a U.S. Air Force veteran, a great man himself. Annie and Dave were a great New England couple and a dental assistant, and more outgoing than Dave. Dental assistants are pretty comical people. They are usually quick with the joke, from my experience. Dave quit Reserve veteran and longtime Postal Service employee. They like to mingle with Connecticut celebrities What celebrity, Strange Man? I'm intrigued by that. And travel to Jamaica, my favorite place to go as well, on vacation. Also, Annie would go around the local area feeding homeless cats, so you know she was a great person if she was taking care of the homeless cats in the area. That is really a testament to her. They did have no children, but both will be missed greatly. So our condolences to Peter Green and his family on the passing of Anne Frances Wilson Gelati. We will get to Strange Man's stats of the week. It is show number 203, which happens to be the day of the year, the 203rd day of the year. So that is interesting off the bat. All right, while we wait for Bob, I will mention other local sporting news. It was a little surprising. Phil Esposito, the longtime Danbury hockey coach with the Trashers and the Titans and the Whalers, actually, and the Titans. I think he was with the Danbury hockey franchises since 2011. He announced just yesterday, I think, or maybe the day before, that he will be parting ways and moving on to, hopefully for him, bigger and better things. It's been a long run for him. He did get Danbury a professional sports championship, winning with the Whalers a couple of years ago. I believe the only sports professional championship in the history of Danbury. So hats off to Phil Esposito. Certainly has been an entertaining man behind the bench for the hockey teams here. Always quick to stir things up and even maybe go over the line. He may have been arrested a few times during and or after games where he got in fights with fans and whatnot in the FHL. So he is leaving. Also locally, I guess we'll get to the racing. There was a big race up in New Hampshire this weekend. They call it Joey Logano's home race track, the Connecticut native, Middletown man that he is, and we like to follow him. He did finish third. He's won this race twice before up there. But he did finish third, so it was a pretty good running by him. Matt Kenseth won it. My guy, Tony Stewart, finished second. Tony Stewart is retiring, I believe, at the end of this year. He's been in contention lately after having a very quiet start to the year, so maybe he's trying to finish with a flurry. Other interesting news out of NASCAR, I saw Dale Earnhardt Jr. will be out for the next 2 weeks with concussion-like symptoms. Jeff Gordon, the legend, will be filling in, riding his car. Jeff Gordon, we know, retired last year. He's coming out of retirement for 2 weeks to run a couple races. So I thought that was kind of interesting. Some other racing type of news as we move along. We will be getting to baseball, don't you worry. Tour de France is winding down. The defending champion and two-time champion, Chris Froome from Great Britain, won the time trial mountain stage today and expanded his lead to 3 minutes and 52 seconds after the 18th stage. It is all but over. His contenders are not going to be able to knock him off the mantle unless something crazy happens, with 2 more alpine stages to come, and then the final ceremonious final stage on Sunday, I believe it is when it winds down. But the Tour de France has been going on for 3-4 weeks now. It's been great to see some of the images of the Tour de France. We know there's just beautiful scenery there, and the people out there, of course, with the horrific events that took place there last week in Nice, a place that I have been to, and I still just can't wrap my head around the fact that something like that took place down there in Nice. Just one of the most pleasant places you can go in all the world, really a vacation place for many on the French Riviera. And just horrible on Bastille Day last week what took place there. But it has not affected the Tour de France, and people continue to come out in throngs and support their country and all the racers, cyclists coming through. And it's still beautiful scenery there. They will not let their spirits be dampened too much by senseless violence that continues to go on around the world. So it is nice to see. But again, Chris Froome extended his lead today. The mountain stages of the last couple days and the 2 more to come were going to be the last chance for the other racers to come through, and they have not cut into the lead. In fact, they have let him widen the lead. So he will continue on, and it looks like he will get back-to-back Tour de France championships. Other events overseas, talk about epic events. The British Open this year was just amazing what took place between the top two guys. The rest of the field wasn't really even involved at all, as third place finisher J.B. Holmes finished 11 shots behind. It was just all about Henrik Stenson and the hefty lefty we saw right there, Phil Mickelson, for really the final 3 days. Mickelson jumped out to that 63 opening round total and went out to the lead. He held on to the lead through into Saturday, round 3, but Stenson finally caught him towards the end of round 3 and then held him off. How about this for a final round? We saw Mickelson with 63 to start. Stenson goes 63, 8 under on the final day to finish with 10 birdies, tying, who was it, Johnny Miller with the lowest total of a winner in the final round of a major. Johnny Miller did it with a 63 in 1973, and he rallied from 6 down to win the U.S. Open that year in 73 with that 63. Stenson needed every one of those shots as Mickelson put up a 65 with no bogeys in his round, and a spectacular round as well. So Mickelson ends up runner-up for the 11th time, second only to Jack Nicklaus, who had 19 runner-up finishes at major tournaments. But Stenson was not to be denied, making shots that were just spectacular. It reminded a lot of people of Watson and Nicklaus in their battle by the desert, or whatever they called that in the, 1977, I believe it was, when they too were 10 shots clear of the competition. But Stenson goes for 264 total, which bettered David Tom's 265 total at the 2001 PGA Championship, so that was record-setting. We mentioned the Johnny Miller tying 63 final round, and then also 3 better. His minus 20 was 3 better than anyone ever shot at a British Open. So, and I think, what did Mickelson finish? 17 under, so he tied that mark as well. So Mickelson had an amazing round himself, but he just could not keep up as Stenson continued to birdie holes in the back 9 and ended up pulling away. So an amazing event this past weekend, one for the ages, with Stenson and Mickelson making shot after shot after shot. But it was Stenson, the first ever Swede to win a major, his first major championship at the age of 40. Mickelson was trying to become the oldest guy to win a British Open since 1867 at 46, but he couldn't do it. 48 is the oldest ever age for anyone to win a major. So Mickelson is perhaps running out of time, but he continues to put himself in contention. And he did that after missing the cut at the Masters and the U.S. Open this year, but he roared back and really put on a show for everybody this weekend, but he could not come up with the trophy. It was Stenson at the Royal Troon winning it. So great job by him. All right, we're waiting for Bob. I don't know, I want to get into the Westerners, but we're going to wait a little longer, see what happens, how much time we got. What did I kill here? A little bit of time. Let's touch on soccer real quick before we get big time into baseball. A big event last night as well as the Open Cup continued. This event that goes on throughout the year with all the major professional soccer teams playing each other in this kind of round-robin tournament that takes place, the Open Cup. And the Revolution, who aren't doing that great in the MLS, they are, however, doing great in the Open Cup tournament, as they won it last night in the quarterfinal against rival Philadelphia Union. They did it in penalty kicks as the Union tied it in the 90th minute to force extra time. No goals were scored in the 30 minutes of extra time. They went to the penalty kick shootout, and the Revolution won that 4-2. They advanced to the semifinal round. They won this thing, I think it might have been 2007. They have won this tournament once in their history. We all know that they have been runner-up, I believe, 5 times now in the MLS Championship, as they've made it to the final many times, but never to win. So we're all hoping they can do that, Revolution fans, that is. They have moved into the playoff picture. They are in 6th place right now, which would put them in the playoffs. They were out last week when we talked about it. They are at 23 points. DC United's right behind them with 22. Toronto right in front of them with 24. So they are bunched in a little tight spot there, trying to fight their way into the playoffs. NYFC remains in first place at 33. The Red Bulls at third place with 28 points. So things are tight in the MLS. They come back after the Copa America break they all took. All right, we'll go Major League Baseball. Or maybe we'll take a little bit of a break. How about we do a little video clip? We don't do video clips here. Let's shake things up. Or should we save it till the end of the show? What do you guys think? Any input from the studio? Should I go all baseball, or should we go to the video that one? What did he say? I couldn't. All right, let's play it. Dave King went to Fenway Park this weekend. His first ever trip to Fenway. I don't know if I like this. He's never seen a baseball game there, but he went to see a concert as the Grateful Dead were up there. He didn't go to that show, but he did get to see Bob Weir, and we're going to see Bob Weir in this clip, and we're going to see somebody else in this clip. He went to see Paul McCartney. Let's get that picture of Dave King first before we go to the clip. We got to see the view of Fenway Park that he had and everything in that shot, which was a spectacular night up there at Fenway. And McFadden has arrived as he comes in, and he'll get to sit down as we get ready to watch this shot. And there's the shot of Dave King having a great time at Fenway. All right, and if you want to roll the video clip, Mike, go for it anytime you want. I'll just let it ride, and we'll see what happened and who the special guest was that Paul McCartney welcomed onto the stage with him at Fenway Park.
Okay, I'll tell you what. We got another surprise for you here. Because somebody's going to come on stage here. There's a guy who doesn't normally get up on stage and sing and that, but he can move. This guy is Ron Bukowski. The Gronk! Come on, Gronk. Come on, man. Here he is. Give it up. Gronkowski.
Boston, give it up for the living legend, Sir Paul.
Are you ready, Ron? Okay, the Gronk is ready. We are ready. Let's go. 1, 2, 3. Thank you, Bob. Thank you, Gronk.
Thank you, Paul, and thank you, Boston. Season's right around the corner, and we're about to turn it up this year.
It's all happening. We're really rocking in Boston. Yeah. Okay.
Helter Skelter for Rob Gronkowski, the Gronk with Sir Paul, as he called him. That was pretty good. Dave had pretty good seats there, and that was good quality video. You can tell Dave is an experienced man with the camera and sound and audio. He's a musician himself. He's shot multiple music videos for his own songs. No shaky camera there. Oh, and there we see Dave with Westy down at Westerners Field. I think Dave's going to be down there singing his Southern New York Racing Association song tomorrow night, and the Westerners anthem as well, as part of the big game tomorrow night at Rogers Park against Keene, as members, old-time racers, I think, and their cars are going to be down at Rogers Park tomorrow night for the game. So Bob is blowing us off. I'm a little surprised by this. McFadden has arrived. Mike, come on. Bob has not called. Should we be worried?
I think Bob may be just a little busy. That's all, Scott.
Did he take a foul ball off the noggin, perhaps?
No, that's a possibility.
I mean, he is a big target.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
That's ridiculous. I mean, he's called from the hospital. We can't get him to call from Rogers Park?
You know, if you take a ball off the noggin.
Western's in a big game tonight. They are home versus New Bedford. New Bedford Bay Sox are at 16-17. Western's at 15-19. In 5th place now, out of the playoff picture. New Bedford right ahead of them in 4th. They need to get to 4th place to get in to the playoff picture, so they got to win this game tonight. They got Keene tomorrow night to finish up this little 4-game homestand they've had this week. They hit the road for Mystic Valley and Newport before returning home next week, Wednesday, Ocean State. So there's only 8 games left. They got to turn it up. All right, let's go Major League Baseball now that the Met Maniac is here. We're going to get to his Mets in a minute because we got to start with the first place Red Sox, winners of 8 of the last 9 games. They got a little mini sweep, 2-gamer against the San Francisco Giants, aided by the one Hanley Ramirez with 3 home runs last night in a big performance by him. They moved to 53-39. They got a home series starting tonight, 4 against the Twinkies. So they hope to continue to make hay here and continue to run off these wins as they moved ahead briefly against the Orioles. The Orioles did avoid the 4-game sweep against the Yankees this afternoon, winning 4-1 against the Yankees. So we are actually percentage tied with the Orioles as the game before the Red Sox game gets underway tonight. But if they win, they'll be half a game back up in front of the Orioles. So nice to see the Red Sox recover from that June swoon. They had the really good homestand. I believe they were 7-2 leading into the All-Star break. They took 2 out of 3 from the Yankees in the Bronx this weekend coming out of the All-Star break. Too bad David Price couldn't be the so-called ace that he is and finish that sweep on Sunday Night Baseball. Came up very lame, as he has done pretty much all season. Thoroughly unimpressed with David Price so far. He's got to step it up. He's tired of talking about it. His interviews after the game constantly saying, you guys are tired of hearing it. I'm tired of saying it. I'm missing my spots. I'm not doing the job I should be doing. So if he could step up, imagine where this team would be. They're doing it all with him pitching poorly. They do have some injuries in the bullpen. Thank you, John Farrell, for putting Koji Uehara in a non-save situation last night where he got injured. Farrell just can't get out of his own way. That's why he still has detractors up there in Boston, people wondering what he does with the bullpen. I think that's been his biggest problem all along, the handling of the bullpen. He does not know how to do it. He puts guys in non-save situations all the time, and the results are terrible. And now this time, Koji gets hurt. He's on the DL now, so they do have some problems. But Kimbrel's coming back. Tazawa's coming back. They did make a couple trades for pitchers. They got a good reliever and a good starter, so we'll see how that pans out. The Orioles, we mentioned, avoided the sweep. The Yankees had won 4 in a row. They keep keeping themselves alive, Mike. Everybody's talking about, are they going to be sellers? Are they going to be buyers? Then they, lose those first 2 to the Red Sox. They salvage the series there with the win on Sunday night. Then they take the first 3 from Baltimore. I mean, do you think they're going to be selling off their team, or do you think they're going to hang around?
It's tough because they're in such a weird position because they're close enough.
They are, with the second wild card.
And the thing about it is, you don't want to get rid of these guys too early because you're talking about guys like Beltran, etc., and then plus the 2 relievers. So I think if I'm the Yankees, I think I wait a little bit longer. But trade deadline is approaching.
It's approaching, so they're going to have to make a decision in about a week and a half or so. 48-47, 1 game over 500. Before today's game, they had pulled to 2 games over 500, which I believe was their high water mark of the season. And they get a limping San Francisco team coming in for 3 who have now lost 5 straight. They have not won a game since before the All-Star break. So they came out of the break struggling. They still maintain first place in their division at 57-38 over the Dodgers, who are at 54-33. And the Dodgers have some injury news with the best regular season pitcher there is, Clayton Kershaw, having the back problems, and he's probably going to have surgery and be out for the rest of the year, perhaps. So the Dodgers still playing well, but Kershaw injured is a big problem. All right, Mike, how about this? Let me just mention the rest of the AL standings. Toronto 54-42, so they're right behind the Red Sox and the Orioles. Cleveland 56-38, Detroit 49-46, KC lingering at 500 but not playing well. Texas 2-8 in their last however many 10, but 55-41, so they're struggling. Houston catching up to them at 5-5, 51-44. Well, I never did get to strange man stats of the week. Your Mets, while I open up his envelope, you know, they keep talking injuries. Dark Knight, we know, is out. But how about this for an interesting point that I heard on the radio? They've only used 6 starters this year, Mike. How banged up are they? Why is Terry Collins crying a river every day I hear him talk?
You know what it is? Guys aren't performing up to their abilities. That's basically what it comes down to.
I mean, what do you think as a fan? Him keep talking about, oh, we made the deep run last year, this, that, the other. It's just part of the whole package. I mean, just step up and play and stop making excuses.
I think that I think you said it right there. Guys have to step up. You know, DeGrom has been pitching a lot better. And some of the other guys have to step up. Syndergaard and Nats both have, you know, the bump and spurs. And basically, it's going to be something that they're going to have for the rest of the year unless they're shut down. So they're going to have to pitch through the pain. As far as the position players, other guys have got to step up. You know, Cespedes has had the problem with the quad.
Yep.
And then you have the other guys. Reyes has had his moments, but he really hasn't hit consistently as well as some of the other guys.
All right, we got to move quicker. They're in third place. They got the huge series against Miami, who's in second place ahead of them, and Washington, we know, still remains out front. All right, let me try to get through Strange Man stats of the week in the final minute. Tennis, 1877, first Wimbledon championship trophy awarded to Spencer Gore, July 19th, 1877. He mentions this on the heels of the Wimbledon just ending. And Althea Gibson, first African-American to win the single title in 1957. All right, he's got a baseball one as well. First unassisted triple play in Major League Baseball, July 19th, 1909. Only 15 players have ever achieved such a feat. First by Neil Ball. No pun intended. All right, it's official. Strange Man got a promotion to Detective Strange Man. Is that what that means? Detective Strange Man over and out. No Bob. Very disappointed. Hopefully the Westerners are winning and he's locked into a great game. We will see you next week as we are out of here.